Congratulations.
Thank
you
you.
very
Thanks for
much.
having us.
How did the whole thing start? It started during lockdown, and one of you was furloughed from
Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got put on furlough from my job. I was working in a job in England that based a lot in small businesses. They ran markets, and we worked with thousands of like small business traders. I got put in furlough during the pandemic when a lot of the markets had to get stopped for obvious reasons. And I thought, I can't sit here and do nothing. So I thought, I'll just give this a go. I'll try it. I didn't ever expect what came next. But then Danielle was pregnant at the time.
Yeah, I was on maternity leave, and again, I was furloughed at the very beginning of my maternity leave. So I just sort of got to hang around with a big fat belly, helping out as I could until James came along.
So in a way, it was timely that the two of you were home at the one time together, and had a bit of time on your hands.
Yeah,
100%. Like there would be no other real time in our lives since we were teenagers that we would have both been.
We actually really went our separate ways. You sailed around the world, and I headed off to the US. Like this,
completely different countries, and then we come home and
there we
start
go.
this.
Let's pause it there.
Sorry.
Roseanne, the sailing around the world, that was the Clipper Challenge, was it?
It was, yes.
How did that come about?
Did that in 2017-18, and I just thought one day I'll give this a go. Basically the same as this business, to be honest.
Yeah.
Had you any? Well, you had no experience in this sort of a business, so had you any experience in sailing?
Absolutely none.
Right.
The height of it was a ferry to Scotland.
How did it go?
Absolutely amazing. One of the best things probably the best thing I've ever done with my life so far.
Part of a crew.
Yeah, there was 8 of us that did the whole race together, still friends with them.
Wow.
Then there was a lot of crew that came and did different sections of it, but absolutely amazing. A full year, and we did full circumnavigation.
So you had no problem finding your sea legs?
Well, seasickness was not my strength. Every single time I would leave a port, 3 days of sickness.
Yeah, but you toughed it out.
Oh yeah, you got to do it once you leave.
Wow.
There's no land for at least another month, so
Yeah. So you had no choice.
you get used to it.
Yeah.
Well,
Sink or swim. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well done. Now listen, getting back to the business, and where did it come from? Where did they? I mean, there must have been a spark.
So because I was working with a lot of small businesses, I loved the idea of starting my own. I just kind of had the attitude, if they can do it, why can't I? I watched them all grow, and they did everything from sell homemade breads and cheeses to homemade clothing. I would watch them come on these markets and progress from basically one-man bands up to having warehouses where they were nearly leaving us to open their own shops, and it was just inspirational to watch that. And I always really loved the idea of being able to do that and progress through that. And then the crafty side of it was definitely our mum.
Oh, our mum, yeah. If there was ever a woman who crafted, it's our mum. Yeah.
But do you each bring something different to the business, or is it a totally combined effort, and that the both of you just do
Danielle
whatever
keeps
it
her
takes?
feet on the ground,
And probably a
I'm
sense
in
of
the
both of
cloud.
those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
We're a good
fairy.
balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would be creative and do a lot of the designing, and you're very structured. and keep
Roseanne
things
would
going.
have a lot of these ideas, and she'll come at you and be like, oh, we should do this, we need to do that, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, let me get a pen and paper, write these down, and let's now action those. So,
But that's why we work
and that's
well
why
together.
we work. Yeah, because I wouldn't necessarily have those ideas, but you'd keep those ideas and think, oh yeah, we should do this, we should do that. And I'm like, okay, let's actually do those.
And the award was great because it means more exposure. Personalised wedding supplier of the year, and there was a big event. You didn't. Roseanne, you didn't get to go to that, did you?
I didn't. Only Danielle went to that one. She was having a few days off, and she was down that part of the country, and I was like, you go ahead. I'll watch your baby.
yeah, pretty much. I'll babysit.
Which was fine. I didn't think we were going to win, to be honest.
No, yeah.
So it was actually a really big shock for us. Like, it's the whole of Ireland, of all the wedding suppliers, ours was one of the biggest categories.
Yeah.
And for us to even win that, I genuinely did not think
Yeah.
that we'd be coming home with that.
So what has it meant to a small startup company? I mean, we spotted the story in the Donegal News, and here you are now. But I mean, it's meant more exposure and more followers on your socials.
Yeah, 100%. Even that night, just being there and having such influential people and other small businesses, like that networking, first of all, and being able to say, like, hi, I'm Danielle from Noted Ireland, who are you? And already you've got a connection, and then they share you share them. And again, weddingspsuppliers.ie were fantastic in sharing all the businesses, and especially those that had won an award, and that for us catapulted us for a few days, especially, you know, getting followers and on social media, so it was great.
Yeah, and I think for a customer coming on now and seeing you have these awards, it's really nice for them to be able to trust you.
Yeah.
They
Massive.
know that what they're getting is a good product, and that's really helpful for us as well.
Yeah, well, you're able to say now an award-winning business.
Absolutely.
We are.
Yeah.
Roseanne, tell us a little bit more, rather, about what the company do. Now, this is for wedding supplies that you won the award for, but it's more than that.
Yeah, so what we would specialise in is personalised items. So we do our most popular selling things would be things for the wedding morning, like the robes and the pyjamas for the bridal parties. They come in all their gift boxes, all their little flutes, like the things that we like to think are like what makes the memories, like a few years down the line, and you look back and you can just see how beautiful it all looks. Hopefully someday your daughter's sitting looking at the photos and she can point out who's who, looking at the wee things.
And also a lot of them will probably be keepsakes.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because it all goes so quickly. It's 24 hours at the end of the day, and it goes so quickly. And to think that you can still be drinking out of your future Mrs. glass or whoever you're going to be for the rest of your life, essentially, you know, it's lovely.
So it can be anything: robes,
Yeah,
glasses.
and that's one of the really nice things about what we do is we can make custom items to suit people. Like this morning I was making Liverpool football shirt table plans for a lady. It's nice to add those really personal touches to people's days that just make them stand out from other weddings and just feels like them. And that's what we love about it.
Yeah.
So it's about bespoke weddings.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're listening to the couple, and it's what they want, and you try to do what they request.
And I suppose that's how we've also grown, in that sense that it's the brides and the grooms that come to us and tell us what they want, so we know what avenues to go down, because there's no point in making something that nobody's interested in. They come to you and tell you, oh look, I need an umbrella for my wedding, could you put my name on it? Absolutely, no problem.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. And have you had many unusual requests that you have to go, well,
There's probably some we couldn't share right now.
Yeah, there definitely is.
I'll talk to Roseanne about that and see if it's on our list of wacky ideas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where does most of the business come from? Mostly local?
All over Ireland. Yeah, a lot of stuff goes everywhere. Really, there's probably not a county at the minute. Last year we sent out 4,000 orders, and they went from Cork to Galway, Dublin.
Great.
Yeah.
All over Donegal too, though.
Even recently this year, there's been a few going to the likes of England, Scotland, Wales, which is an interesting thing as well. And again, that's maybe come after the award, which could, you know, have stemmed again from something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's increased the profile.
Yeah.
And your socials and your presence on social media, that was part of the judging process actually for the award. So having a big presence online would be very important. I'm looking at your website here, and it's very, very impressive looking.
Thank you.
So again, as well as the website, having a presence on social media.
Yeah,
would be
and
big.
we would try really hard. Actually, we think that's one of the things that's got us this far is to always make sure and have good, well photographed products that are or photographs of like true lighting and things like that.
Yeah.
And we've worked hard on that from the very first day that we started the business. We've always like tried to do that.
People like they'll only see the product in the photo before they buy it, and if it doesn't look good, they're not going to buy it. But what we never want to do is Photoshop it to look good. We always put the effort in to make it naturally as good as it is. So we do put a lot of effort into things like that.
It's a product as you produced it.
Yeah, exactly that.
So where does what's the next step? Where does the growth come from? Is it? I mean, you've had a busy time of it. Has it been possible to step back and say, okay, what can we develop now? What's going to be next?
Oh, at
Or
the
can you
start
tell
of the
us?
year, we moved our office around. So it started off with just me, the kitchen table. Then Danielle joined, and now we've got 3 more. So there's 5 of us in total.
Oh wow!
So that's really allowed us to take on more orders.
Yes.
And Danielle and our other printer Nicole have been taking on a lot of that work, and while I've been working on trying to come up with some ways to develop the business, these awards were one of the things that we'd factored in. We've recently been doing wedding fairs around Donegal. We were at Greenan.
Oh, the Belfry. There was definitely a few of them.
If we went to Derry, yeah.
Okay.
So that they've been great. In future, we're currently working on a wee marketing plan, but we're not finalised yet.
Yeah, no.
So you're definitely not sitting still.
Oh, we're
Oh,
not.
definitely not. No,
I
definitely
couldn't
not.
if I tried.
Well, listen, once again, congratulations on the award. It's great, and it's great for a fledgling company, and to get an award and, obviously use it as a platform amongst other things. But it's called Noted Ireland. If anybody wants to check you out, big presence online and on social media as well. Danielle and Roseanne, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
TFI Local Link operate over 1,300 door-to-door